let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Chase that check. I gotta get that money. I gotta chase that check. But you ain't got no space, and you ain't chase no check. Then you ain't get no money, then you ain't got no tech. And I can bleed it, and I can trust it, and I can bleed what I wanna do, I want it. And I can bleed what I wanna do, I love it. They hating on me in public, I love it. But I be chasing money, and I be chasing honeys, and that's my fucking problem. I'm a fucking dummy, but I'm a curse one, and that's one day, honey. And you gon' get that one day when I'm done chasing money. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check over days. Chase that check. Yeah, chase that check. I had a moment of silence, cause I be chasing that check. And this shit so crazy. I don't even stress. Yeah, the bitch left. But they ain't the first time she left. It's like a boomerang. She come bouncing back. Just like on the dick. Yeah, she do a spin. Yeah, she do those spins. Yeah, she spit on that tin. Yeah. But I'ma stay on point. I gotta get that money. Just like my joints. They spread out. And I fly my wings. If I was a bird, I'd be a wing. Yeah, you get it? Yeah, that's first class shit. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Bitch, I'm the pilot lit. I'm the pilot lit. Business owner. I represent. I'm from the fold. Everybody throw up that shit. Let cash accumulate over days. Chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and chase that check for days.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is recap coverage from the stock and crypto market. These are live ideas of thought and studies. This is not financial advice on this stream or with this company. With that being said, happy Easter, everyone, man. I hope you guys been having it and gals been having a great weekend. LCAOD has just been cooling out here. But, you know, it's about that time. It's time to get back to business. Time to get back to work. The market is back open tomorrow, you guys. But, you know, we're going to go over some things that's very, very important for this week. And that's going to be moving the market and some things that kicked off, data that came in over the weekend. We got earnings coming up this week, you guys. The bank's going first here this week. It's about to get real intense in the market. The market is about to really just start going in the direction it wants to actually go for the year. You know, it's bank earnings about to report this week, you guys. So keep that in mind. But this is just recap coverage. We're going to be going over the SPY, QQQ's, IWM, DIA, the VIX. That's what moves the market, ladies and gentlemen. And the stocks that we're eyeing LCAOD this week: NVDA, Google, and Alibaba. It's a Chinese stock, so we'll be going over that this week. Those names all week, and we'll be going over the earnings. But yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and get into it. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. It is Easter Sunday, and you know, like I said, I hope you're having a great, wonderful evening here. But this is something that as an investor, you want to know these things as just really just being, anybody, a worker, you 9 to 5 worker, anybody. You put your hard-earned tax dollars everywhere. You work for your hard-earned tax dollars, so you deserve to know what's happening about it and about your money each week and what's going to happen, what's the future is looking like, and everything plus more. But let's go ahead and get into what happened on Thursday. The market was open for 3 days last week. 4 days instead of 5. It was open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday last week. So it was open 4 days out of 5, and Friday wasn't open at all. But data did come out, and the data is looking. I ain't gonna lie, you guys. It looks positive right now. But Thursday, let's go with Thursday first. Thursday, the market was definitely going down. It was going downhill. A Fed speaker did step in, Bullard. We'll get into the charts and numbers here in a minute, and we'll show you where he stepped in and the market just flipped and went full bull mode again. And the bulls still holding the market up right now. As of right now, the momentum is looking bullish. The market is going up. The consolidation is looking positive. It's not negative. So, what's happening? Next, we don't know. But as of right now, it looks positive. If that's all the Bears had this week, it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be intense this week coming up because there's gonna be a lot of data coming out. But last week, let's go ahead and read over what happened. So on that Thursday, basically the S&P 500, the S&P 500 ends Thursday higher, but suffers its first down week in 4. So that's true. The S&P 500 rose 36%, 0.36% to 4,105.2 after losing as much as 0.50% earlier. The tech-heavy NASDAQ composite outperformed with a 0.76% gain to 12,087.96, boosted by a 3.78% rise in Google parent Alphabet. So you got 2 Googles. Remember, you got Google A and C, and a 2.55% rally in Microsoft shares, you guys. So remember Microsoft. Remember I was telling you guys Microsoft is heavy, big tech, heavy NASDAQ composite, and they went crazy to the upside on Friday. On that Thursday. They actually led the market up, but we'll go over that here in a minute. But just looking at the recap, the levels were definitely correct on Microsoft. They did rally. The Dow Jones Industrial Average inched 2.57 points higher to 33,485.29 after losing more than 150 points at its session lows. So that's kind of what happened on Thursday. It did go up. The market did bounce midday. That was due to a bullet bounce. We're gonna call it a bullet bounce. The market ended up, S&P 500 ended up higher Thursday. We'll show you guys here in a minute, like I said on the chart. But like it says though, it did suffer its first down week in 4. So for the past 4 weeks, the market technically has just been closing higher than its previous levels. But this past week it didn't. There's still a high. We're still looking at the highs of last week, the previous week. It didn't connect with that. So the SPY, it's kind of like right now it's monkey in the middle right now, you guys. The SPY and the NASDAQ and the Dow, everything is because they didn't like it says, it did suffer its first down week in 4. So it did close lower than it did last week. Finally, in 4 weeks, it hasn't done that. So the bull actually took a break there. The bulls took a break, but who knows? Like with this data coming out, it could easily just push right past that right now. So that's what you got to be very cautious of about coming into next week. It's looking really positive. But the data did come out on Friday, and this is what happened. So the S&P 500 futures and Treasury yields gain on Friday as March labor report shows resilient economy. S&P 500 futures gained 0.2%. Futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 55 points. However, NASDAQ 100 futures were flat. The 2-year Treasury yield jumped 10 basis points to 3.93%. The 10-year Treasury yield added 8 basis points to 3.37%. 1 basis point equals 0.01% and yields more inversely to prices. So that's what that means. The U.S. added 236,000 jobs in March, about in line with expectations, with the unemployment rate falling to 3.5% from 3.6%. So that's a little percent difference. A month earlier, expectations were from a 238,000 increase in non-farm payrolls based on the consensus estimate from Dow Jones economists. Those same economists anticipated the unemployment rate holding steady at 3.6. So they're looking at that real close right there, that little point changing. But other than that, you know, it does just sound like the market is going to continue this momentum here to the upside. That's what this could be signaling, this data right here. But, you know, the data this week that's coming out will really tell it all. But we'll see. We'll see. That's what they're saying. We'll see. So let's go ahead and go over the data, look at the data before we look at the charts. So economic data this week, you guys, we got CPI inflation on Wednesday. So you already know what time it is. It's going to be a big day that day. Wednesdays, it looks like one of your biggest days this week in the market. So be on the lookout for Wednesday. You guys, that's when you're going to really get your signal on if that information I just read is really going to make the market go bullish here sooner or later. But CPI inflation data on Wednesday, Fed FOMC minutes on Wednesday, all that. Very important. So be on the lookout for that. Usually around 2 p.m. So be on the lookout for it. PPI inflation Thursday. That's price. They got CPI consumer and producer price index. So that's all that is. So that'll be the difference. So that's going to be important data as well. But that's on Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. Jobless claims, of course, it's important on Thursday. Retail sales on Friday, that's going to be key. And consumer sentiment on Friday, that's going to be key. And then you remember you got the bank earnings on Friday, that's going to be key. So there's going to be a lot of data this week. Don't, you know, I can't tell you what to do, but I wouldn't be trying to load the boat here, put your chips all in, because, you know, you got to understand information has to get digested. Regardless, some people are smarter than others. Keep that in mind. And, you know, some people, you know, just like to read and be careful about their investments. So things will take time, you know what I'm saying? Not going to, but just be ready for, you know, so I always stay ready. That's really the main thing, you know, at the end of the day. But like I said, wouldn't be going all in these moments, you know, because like I said, it's about digesting. You know, that's what the market is going to have to do after all this information anyway. Like I said, some people are smarter than others. They'll understand this faster than someone else will. So you have to let things take time. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it's going to end up being. But that's the data we're looking out for this week. We on the scope for it. Fed speakers this week. Be on the lookout for the Fed speakers, like I said, because they will move the market. That happened last week on Thursday. Bullard, he made some comments about the economy, and he said everything was fine technically. He was like, everything looks fine to me still. Everything looking good. He was like, everything looks straight. He was like, you know, let it do what it's gonna do. And when that happened, those comments came out, the market went up on Thursday, going into the holiday. But, you know, be on the lookout for these Fed speakers this week, you know, Monday. These Fed speakers, they'll be, you know, making their little comments and remarks about the stock market and the economy in general and politics. And, you know, what they say really does affect the market because they have a big key in it. So, you know, it'll shift on what they say. So just be cautious of their commentary throughout the week. I try to tell people that, you know, they're kind of like, you know, I guess I hate to put it, this is your police of the market, you know, but they do get the printer rolling. So you got to be respectful and mindful of all of that at the end of the day. But yeah, they're gonna be speaking, man. They're gonna be making their little remarks and comments throughout the week. So just be ready for that. Harker on Tuesday. You know, the market be closed, but you know, Monday the market will be closed too. It looks like you can catch some on Tuesday, a little bit of market action and a Fed speaker during like 1:30. And that looks like that's really it. the rest of this speakers this week, they're speaking after hours, so that's something to be bringing into consideration. You know, why they speaking after hours? It's gonna be a lot of volatility this week, I could bet. Three things to watch this week on Wall Street: U.S. inflation data, Fed minutes, bank earnings. That's just what I'm looking at. That's the key things that I'm signaling. You know, but yeah, like I said, you know, you got to think about the Fed speakers. They speaking after hours for a reason. You know, like I said, they ain't wanting to show their faces during the market open. You know, because they involved too. They investing just as well as you are. So just keep all that in mind, man. Like I said, when you're doing this, and just be positive, and mindful, and respectful. Stay cool, calm, collect. Triple C's. That's what I try to stick to, and you should be fine. All this data gonna flow through. It's gonna be a lot. It can't overwhelm you, but don't let it. You know, just stick to what you know. I tell people that a lot. Stick to what you know, and go with that. You know something, obviously that's good because you can get paid faster if you already know something. So just go with what you know, and you know what I'm saying. Go with the flow after that. If you know something, then you know, look into it, invest into it. You should be fine. But these are three things that, you know, LCAOD is looking at this week. Three things to watch this week on Wall Street. You see Wall Street watching it, LCAOD watching it. That's just how we rocking. So U.S. inflation data is on point, and Fed minutes and bank earnings. That's the three things to be on point about this week for real. So be keying in on that, you guys. Remember the banks collapsed, man. So they didn't do that for a reason. It's earnings season now. It's like this. Somebody come to your door and say, "Hey, you got that bag?" And they open their door and say, "Well, I ain't really see ya." Stock tank, more collapsing, or you know, it's like, "Hey, you got that bag?" And it's like, "Yeah, I got you." Oh, good. Stock blast rocket to the upside. Everybody was just waiting for nothing. Could have been loading calls, and it was so cheap. It's gonna be crazy. It's bank earnings about to get real, y'all, for real. So keep in mind with that and be ready for it, man. Be ready for them bank earnings. And this is the earnings list, the actual list here for the week. Not too many, but this is the start for real. So here we are. Let the games begin is what most are saying. We got CarMax on Tuesday before opening. That'll be a good one. Tilray before Monday after close. That'll be a good one as well. But you know, the key ones for this week, like I said, is Friday is your big day. You know, Friday is going to be your huge day. Considering, you know, it's so much going on here. Too many earnings on Friday. You guys, BlackRock, too many bank earnings. BlackRock sticks out. It's crazy. Friday's your big day for sure. You got some airports and insurance companies too though on Thursday. So that's gonna be good too though. You feel me? That's all gonna be key this week, man, for real. Progressive and Delta Airlines, all that Thursday before the opening. Progressive, all that is gonna add up. You know, these are good companies. You know, these are really, really good companies. So to see what they're about to report it's about to get exciting. It's gonna get fun in the market. But Friday's your big day, as you see all the banks. Tune into that. I'm telling you don't want to miss out. So let's go ahead and get into the charts. Let's get into the charts. Let's see. Let's get into the charts because that's everything. Two things, and then that's that's everything. Let's get into the charts, man. And if there's more data, I'll show it on the next recap, you guys. We'll go from there. Let's get into the charts. We'll start with the SPY. So the SPY, ladies and gentlemen, SPY. Some people call this the spider. I call it exactly what it is. S&P 500 ETF, trust versus US dollar. You feel me? That's what it is. That's what they say. You feel me? Everybody got their own cool nicknames, though. I get it. But, okay, so it looks like the levels we drew on the last recap, you guys were leveled up to be correct, just right where it needed to be correct. It found that support right there at 408 I'm seeing, but we'll look 5 days out so you guys can see what happened last week. So 5 days out, last week the market low did bottom at right here, 404. And then it did go to 411. So this is your top. So that's what I was reading. It was saying the market closed lower this week than it did in the last 4 weeks. Considering this was your highest is the market has been, and it didn't you see the market didn't travel to test those highs at all right here at all last week in that 4 day week in the market. So that's what now it's a lot of question marks because earnings is coming up, you guys. The market data, all CPI data, you saw all this information is about to come out, right? So now it's getting to the point where this may be your top for real. So like this may be your top. The Bears may have won here possibly right here at 412 and 411. They may have one if things aren't looking good by the end of this week. And the bank earnings, if them banks drop, man, that's gonna put so much fear back in the market that this will be your recent top. This won't be your all-time top. I'm not saying that, but from where we're at right now, currently, this will be your top, for real. This is where the questions coming into play now. If everything's good, things will shoot right past 412, you guys. It's going to actually shoot back towards it quickly. It may consolidate, but if things are looking good, it'll go up slowly, surely, to like 414. It'll go above this. It'll create a new high. Things are good for sure. So there shouldn't be nothing to worry about for the Bulls. But it's gonna be a lot of push and pull this week. Because this is it. This is the moment that everybody's been doing their research for and been coached up for and been ready for. So it's just like here it is. What's going to happen next? I really think personally, the spot is going to be okay. Whichever way it does decide to go, but I think at the end of the day, right now, it's going to just boil down to the data, and the earnings, the bank earnings. It's going to try to make it make sense. So the data's going to come out before the bank earnings, but I don't think that'll even move the market yet. I think it's really going to boil down to Friday, because you got more earnings coming out next week, even bigger ones. So it's like it's going to boil down to that. It's just going to factor into that, and you'll see the market trying to adjust with the data. And I think that's just what's going to really more than likely happen this week. I don't think we see any big, strong, crazy moves. I could be wrong. It could be something that surprised the market this week, but who knows? But I think, honestly speaking, the reality of it is it's going to match with the data that's about to come out, and it's just going to try to make it make sense. I don't think it's going to go too crazy. But we're going to see, though. We're going to see. But that's just what happened right there on the spot, though. But as you see, right here, the levels, right here, erase all these drawings so I don't confuse you. But looking at it from what happened on that Friday right here, that Thursday. So right here is where Bullard. We're gonna call this the Bullard. Bullard bounce. We're gonna call this the Bullard bounce right here. So Bullard was a part of this right here. He spoke. He was speaking. He said everything was fine. Everything is good. The economy's fine, man. Everybody's fine. Everything's good. Nothing to worry about. So when he said that right there at that moment during that time and period between 10:45 to 11 all the way to 11:30, as you can see right there, the euro closed as well. The market got real bullish. So right here we did close at that level at 409 right here on the SPY. So it did gap down right there, and it filled it completely, gap filled and went above it. So gotta start zooming out here, looking back to where we kind of were when it sold off from its absolute top there, as you can see from here to about this point. Another area here. So we're about right here at it. So that's all back in place. So it's now it's at a point where it could start to consolidate and refill and retest all of this and then the data comes out, and then it just drops again. You see what I'm saying? This could be in play for the SPY, or it could just absolutely rip through these levels and just tomorrow or by Tuesday and just go above that then 412, and the data comes out Wednesday and then come back down, consolidate to 411, and you see what I'm saying? Go back up. You see what I'm saying? These are all possibilities and scenarios here right now because it's looking bullish. If it's looking up, you got to look at the up scenarios. So these are the ones that I'm looking at here right now on the SPY. Now, if a reversal, of course, the SPY wouldn't be above 409 at the opening in the pre-market in the morning, or at the opening bell. So that's what you got to be looking at too. If it's above that already, then definitely the bullish momentum is easily continuing. You just got to know where it's going though. So just keep in mind the levels. That's what it's really boiling down to. And but yeah, that bullet bounce is really what took it to where it's at right now. Like I said, things, as you can see, it gapped down, and things were looking like it was about to fall. It was going to collapse and go to the downside right here. But Bullet had other comments, and it didn't. So it hit a Uno reverse U back to the upside. So we're right here at 409, but they did hit their target right there at 405. They had a target at 405.99 and they did hit that, and they actually got a little bit lower in that. So that was basically like a strong support where people could buy into just for this bounce, and that's what ended up happening technically. So we're here now, you guys, and we're going into the new week. Nothing to be mad about. It still can go either way here, as you can see. So let's go ahead and get into the levels here. But that's the SPY though right there. That's basically what happened from last week up until now. But the levels now I'm looking at on the SPY. Just trying to see it now. Retest 410. If the SPY can get back to 410.50 cent, and break it, it's gonna be a strong resistance here. I assume. So it should consolidate for a while, but it should break that. If it breaks above that, the next level I'm looking at it's coming for that high right there, you guys, 411.88. So that's what I'm looking at on the spot to the upside. Now to the downside, I am looking at it both ways. So if all that's not in play to the downside, I'm just definitely looking at the spot to break back down below 407. I feel like that was real bearish area. That was a real bearish area, excuse me. That was bearish territory. That was like they were like clawing heavy there. So I think that's like an area right there where you can really think about, okay, this thing might go down. And if it breaks below that, the next level I'm looking at is that 405 level again, 99 cent. What was so special about that? They needed a discount, therefore I'm looking at that level strongly. So just looking right there at the 405.99 level. If that doesn't hold, looking at 404 on the spot to the downside. DIA. See what the DIA did. So they were bullish too. They closed up. Their support keyed in right here, $333.32. So right here they found support. Right here, they got really bullish at the bullet comments, as everybody else did. 335.30 tagged out. Support right here, 334.74. So that's new, and that's good for the DIA. So just looking forward to break back above to the upside, 335.60 tomorrow. And like I said, it's time. It's time now. It's getting to that point. 340 on the DIA. You need it. It's getting to that point. It's approaching to the upside. The bulls are looking for it. But to the downside, the bears are looking at I'm looking at here too. It's just for this 333 level not to hold. If it doesn't hold, 332 is the next level I'm looking at, and I'm looking at DIA to about 330, you guys, 328 possibly in play right now this week to the downside. Triple Qs levels. So bullet comments, 312, right here, 313 support. Got real bullish right there. Bullet comments, right there. So they actually doubled up on support. 315 was support, and then they got real bullish again to the point where they were gone. It was out of there. It was out of China. It was about to really like go skyrocket to 320, but they sold here eventually 317. It came back to 316, but then got higher than that again, 318.50, as you can see, and then more consolidation to the upside, 317. Tried to push again right there at 318.47, but then just decided to close right there at 317.83 on the triple Qs. So triple Qs is really bullish right now, you guys. Remember, all tech companies are involved with that, so they're showing strong bullish strength right now. Just be cautious with that. You know, like I said, if things continue to the upside, I'm just looking for the triple Qs to get back to that 320 level, man. They get back to 320. It looks like they're going to put the pressure on that 322 level next there on the triple Qs. To the downside, I am just looking at all of this to, you know, what you they say how they label it what you buy is, you know, what they sell. So I'm just looking for the triple Qs. If not everybody's buying this, then or if everybody's bought this, then I'm looking for it to come back down here to about this 314.50 level, 313 level, and from that point, looking at about 310 on the triple Qs to the downside. But you know, it would have to definitely get back down below 315 for this to even be in place. But that's to the downside. So just looking at that strongly at the triple Qs. IWM. Still right here in consolidation mode. IWM 173. Yeah, they're in consolidation mode. They're playing really short right now. Closed here. So not even retesting 177 yet, but that's just what I'm looking at. The IWM needs to break above this 174 and get back to 175. That's the next level I'm looking at on the IWM to the upside. To the downside, if this is going to continue, they're going to play this little short game to the downside. 172.50s in play next. And I'm looking at 170 on the IWM, you guys. To the downside. VIX. Speed of the market. So pre-market had a lot of volatility, but right there at the open on Thursday, it left. Bullet comment stepped in. It really left. It was nothing to be fearful about at all after his comments. It was successful buying. The speed of the market just left, you guys. It was just gone. It just kept going up slowly, and it just kept going up. It was just going up. It was just no selling at all. So speed left, you guys, and if that's going to continue, if the speed is leaving and the fear is leaving, like I told you guys, the market is going to continue to keep going up, and that's just really what's happening as of right now. Now, to say that that's going to continue, that's a strong statement, you know, because we know that what the VIX is all about. You want to zoom out on the VIX 1 month. The VIX like to have spikes, you guys. They have spikes every now and then. That's what the VIX is about. That's what the speed of the market is about. So they're gonna have these little spike moments where, you know, when they do, the market will sell off. But you know, they have these little downturns too. You see, and then that's when the market starts buying a lot. That's what we're in right now. These downturns right now on the VIX. I see. Really haven't saw this in a while, but you know. That's just, if that's what it is, that's just meaning things are really good. It's not, nothing's bad is happening, you know. There's nothing to be worried about. It's okay to buy and invest, basically. You know, the market will tell you when not to. Obviously, it'll say sell. So, but right now things are looking okay, man. If the volatility breaks below, now looking at the VIX to go down below 18. It's time. You see this little dip right here? Right here. It's time for the VIX to test that now. If the VIX to go down another dollar, the market is going up, you guys, and that next level is really high. So just keep that in mind. Right now, the momentum is to the downside on the VIX. The VIX is looking very bearish right now, but just know if the VIX get bullish, the market will go down, and if the VIX stay this bearish, the market will go up, as you're seeing. So the market, it consolidated. It consolidated last week. It held up basically. So the VIX is basically still holding where it's been in the past, technically month, in this range right here, where that's all it's been doing right here. So that's all it's doing right now. But levels I'm looking for right now in the VIX, like I said, to the downside. Now you got to retest that 17. I'm looking at VIX to break below 18 first. And the next low level is 17 to the downside. To the upside, $20. I'm looking at that $20 level on the VIX very closely still to the upside on the VIX. If the VIX get back to 20, stock's gonna pull back, y'all. Stock's gonna pull back. NVDA. Oh, NVIDIA. So they did what the recap said, didn't they? Hit that 270 mark instantly. So that tells you what? Bullish. NVIDIA is still bullish, you guys, and they hit 270 on Thursday. So that's what describes this. You look year to date, that's a green candle in the sky. If you want to zoom in on it, it's not a red candle in the sky. That's where it would have been worry. Now you had that right there before this came into play. You had that. That's why the worry was coming in. But they just kind of gapped down and consolidated, and they were still in the sky. So that's turned into a green candle right now. So NVIDIA is still bullish, you guys, and it's at these highs where it's trying to reach its all-time high at about, what's that over there, 340. It hasn't done it in about, it's been since 2021. So that was like towards the end of that year. So it's looked like it's could possibly be gearing up for that. But the next strong level I will be looking at on the video, honestly, is 300 for sure. There's something at that 300 level. I think that that level is important before the all-time high level, of course. And between that level, you gotta say that next level in the video, it was always pressure at 320. At that level. So we'll be looking at those levels when it can get to that. Right now we're at 270. But looking at it like that, that is a red candle. This thing could still be topping out. So it's a lot of questions still here in the video with the earnings coming up. I think that's gonna tell it all right there. The bank earnings coming up this week. Coming out, I think that's going to be, the key right there. If NVIDIA is going to continue to push higher or lower, considering on how the banks are looking, it's the only thing. I think NVIDIA got it to want to push higher, but if the banks can't print equity to people for it to go higher, then it won't. So you got to understand all of that and make sure that makes sense to you. And once you do. Just realize, like I said, there could be a lot of room to the downside on the video if that is the case. So just, like I said, looking at a 3-6 month perspective here, this is insane to the upside. This is extremely bullish. They basically just went up the past two earnings and they're up here now. So, it's crazy, man, the levels on the video right now. But the levels I'm looking at for this week on the video, if the video can hold this 270, I'm looking at it to regain 275, you guys. And if the video can get back to 275, I'm looking at about 280, you guys, to 285 on the video this week. You guys, they're about to really go here. We're at a point in the video where they done consolidated they achieved their consolidation and they proved that they can hold at this level. And if that's the case, they're about to get rewarded, you guys. They're about to top that top right here. They're gonna top that right there. It's coming. They're coming straight to that. So believe that. If NVIDIA breaks above 272 to 275, just be looking out for about 286 here by the end of the week on NVIDIA to the upside. To the downside, now I am looking at NVIDIA to the downside as well at 268. Doesn't hold. Next level I'm looking at not to hold is at 266 level, and 265 don't hold. Oh, this time I'm definitely, if 265 doesn't hold this time, I'm looking at the 260 level on NVIDIA. Easily said and done, just considering that's where before the little coincidence on Thursday kicked off right there, that support stepped in. It's going to make a lower low, you guys. So easily looking at all of that to come into play to the downside. If the banks say, hey, we're struggling, we don't got it, things are coming down, you guys. NVIDIA 260 to the downside. That's the levels I'm looking for this week. Google's on the board this week with me. And the reason being, Google is having some interesting news about them about the chip making thing. Okay, so they're getting involved. Like you see how NVIDIA is going crazy over their chip, the chip that they have, and everybody's buying it. But everybody's saying that the chip that they're making is too expensive. So Google has made a chip just like NVIDIA made a chip, but they're charging it at a cheaper price. So Google is getting heavy into the AI sector as well, basically, and they're charging that chip at a cheaper price. So last week when that news came into play and the market heard about that, oh my gosh, they went crazy. The Google went up about 3.78%. So Google went up like $4 quickly off of that news right there. So from 104 to 109, and it was really rallying. But you got to look at the previous past 5 days. Google was really at right here at 100. So all week, kinda, you can tell investors possibly knew that information was going to come out, and that's why Google was just consolidating this whole time this past 5 days, and it went up, you guys. So that information is real now about them getting they got a chip and it's cheaper basically than the chip that NVIDIA is offering. So that's why I'm looking at NVIDIA and Google this week closely to see if they're going to be competing with this chip price, or is everybody going to leave NVIDIA's chip price and say, hey, you know what, we have overbought this. This is too high. We're going to bring NVIDIA down and we're going to run to Google and help them a little bit. We can make their chip price a little bit more decent at a cheaper price because it's so low. So you got to be looking at all this week, you guys. It's going to be very intense with Google. And they got earnings coming up too, April 25th. Earnings is around the corner, so everything is actionable right now for Google. But to release that kind of information right now, and the way the video has been going, and Google acting like basically they want to get involved and start going that way too, man, that'd be really good for the market and healthy. But we'll see. But the levels I'm looking at now, I'm just looking at Google to hold. If it can hold this level right here at 108, I'm looking at Google to break to 110, you guys. If Google can get to 110, I'm looking at 111.50. There's resistance there, so if it can break above that, man, it's gonna be super bullish. Probably the 114, 115 possibly, but resistance is definitely gonna be here at that 111 area. But I'm just looking for it to break up to the upside about another $2 at least. Now, to the downside, I'm looking at about 107 to 106 on Google right here, back to possibly that 104 area. That's where I'm looking at to the downside on Google as well. Alibaba, China, that's the last one, and we're gonna wrap it up. Alibaba, China. So Alibaba, they have been having. So basically, I think something about China, you guys, not for real. They're really basically detached from the U.S. dollar. So by them detaching from the U.S. dollar, their stocks basically detached from being U.S. stocks. So it's making their share price more viable. These Chinese companies, these Chinese stocks, it's making them more buyable at a higher price, because now they're going by their own currency, their own Chinese currency. They're going by they're not the U.S. currency anymore, basically. So that's why you've been saying Alibaba go crazy. They also had some other news that came out. So it's just like it's just when you got data coming out with stocks, it's easier to trade or invest in. So because it's something people are actually, it's a lot of people at one time buying into something. So that could be good and bad. You know what I'm saying? So, but the levels I'm looking out for right here on Alibaba China, they're either going up to the upside here. I'm looking at the levels at about 104, 105 to the upside. To the downside, I'm looking at that $100 level to the downside of Alibaba. So we'll see, we'll see this week, you guys. But that's pretty much it there on what we're looking at, LCAOD. And like I said, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. That's it. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up right here. We're right at the end time too. 45 minutes is usually how I do my recap. So we'll be back tomorrow with another recap for about another 45 minutes. And man, y'all finish enjoying the rest of Easter with your families, your loved ones, whoever, by yourself, whatever. Just enjoy Easter, man. Enjoy it. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another recap. It looks like right now, Bitcoin's up right now. Bitcoin's up about $400. So Bitcoin's up due to let's see. It looks like the data might be positive from the coming in the futures. Oh yeah, stock futures rise slightly. Stock futures rise slightly ahead of key inflation data in the kickoff of earnings season. So that's the headlines, and the futures are open right now. So, and it's all green across the board. Even oil is up. So, Bitcoin's up, oil's up, the futures are up, Ethereum's up. Back to that green point again. We ain't seen it all last week. It was all red. So we're going to see what's going on. Looks like Bitcoin trying to top that high back right there at 28,548 right there. They got a key chance to do it. Let's see what they're on. They on the same tight time. Yeah, 1,874. They trying to get to it, man. So we're going to see. It's getting lit. Sediment, let's update that. That came out. Oh, we got a real huge, we got a change, you guys. So now we're about leveled here. It's completely balanced, you guys. Everybody's about neutral now. People do not know which way this market is going now. Oh, after seeing that bounce on Thursday, I bet that did change the bear's mind. Like, hold the hell up. For real. So the Bulls right now, they think it's 33.3% to the upside. They thinking that the market is still going up. About 33.3% are thinking that the market is still bullish and is going up here in the next 6 months, you guys. And gray area, 31.6% are thinking, the market is still neutral. It can really go either way. It can go up or down. It doesn't matter to the neutral person which way it goes. They're just trying to get, have fun and get paid. The bearish person is still thinking 35% down now. They're thinking the market is going to be 35. So 35% bears are thinking that the market will be down in the next 6 months, you guys. So you got about 35% of the top investors in the world thinking that in the next 6 months that the market is going to be down. It will be bearish. Oh no, that's leveled out. It's about 30 right there, man. That's a huge change from the last 2 weeks. So we're at 3. Technically, that's a huge change from the last 3 weeks. So, man, wow. We're going to see, man. I see that meter change to the straight neutral right here. It's 2 over here. So, it's going to be a lot going on this week, you guys. Stay ready. You see, the key inflation data is what we're looking at, and to kick off the earnings season, the bank earnings. So be ready for all that, man. Be ready. It's gonna be exciting. But Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, you guys, with another recap of the SPY Triple Qs, IWM, DIA, VIX, NVDA, Google, Alibaba, with LCAOD. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Easter this evening, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.